Welcome to the Cobb Tank, where educators from across the district pitch innovative new ways to help students learn in the classroom.
Being able to write the actual code, to tell it what to do, push run and not touch my device and make it go, that's empowering.
How young do you plan to start these kids with these robots? Kindergarten, third grade, what?
If the Sharks like their idea, they could be awarded the grant funding to make it happen.
And they can get straight to work.
I can sense the energy.
You guys have set the bar really high for reaching out to community support.
We want students to learn inside as well as outdoors.
With more than 100 ideas submitted from across Cobb County, these finalists have made it to the top of the competition.
The child that has access to books continues to read and will move ahead 1 month. While the child who does not have access to books will slide back 2 months.
Hello, princess.
So now, who are the Sharks? Our first Cobb Tank Shark is Mrs. Rhonda Loki. Miss Loki, a social studies teacher at Campbell Middle, has 32 years of experience in education. She has been selected as Teacher of the Year by her faculty peers at 4 different Cobb County middle schools: Dodgen, Lost Mountain, Smitha, and Campbell. She was recently named a 2015 top finalist for Georgia Teacher of the Year. Ryan Pines is our next Cobb Tank Shark. Mr. Pines has served Cobb County Schools for 17 years. He is currently the director of the Student Information Systems Department. Mr. Pines is responsible for the development or support of most of the computerized student systems used in Cobb schools. He has 3 children, 2 of which are currently attending Cobb schools. Our next Cobb Tank Shark is Dr. David Ciprani. Dr. Ciprani has 21 years of experience in education, including 16 in administration. He currently serves as an assistant superintendent for middle school in the Leadership and Learning Department, where he supervises 12 middle schools in the west area of the county. Prior to this, he served as the principal at Wheeler High School, East Cobb Middle School, and Mableton Elementary. Miss Anna Mullins is our next Cobb Tank Shark. Some of you may recognize Miss Mullins from the teacher kickoff this year, where she challenged teachers across the district to change the world. Anna was the middle school Kid Talk Cobb competition winner. Miss Mullins is now a freshman at Harrison High School. Cassandra Stiff is our next Cobb Tank Shark. Miss Stiff is the agency owner and operator of Horace Mann Insurance in Marietta. Miss Stiff has been a long-standing partner of education in many Cobb schools. Her mission in life is to empower educators to make informed financial decisions with their money. Our final Cobb Tank Shark this evening is Mr. Rob Garcia. Mr. Garcia is a proud graduate of Auburn University. He currently works for the Cobb Chamber as a Workforce Development Manager for Economic Development. Mr. Garcia has been collaborating with Cobb schools on a number of projects. The first finalist going into the Cobb Tank is representing Tritt Elementary School. Alexa Dean is seeking $1,200 to fund her programming through robotics program.
Hi, I'm Alexa Dean. I'm from Tritt Elementary. I am our Innovation Lab instructor. This is Jack. He is one of our fine 5th graders. He is going to go ahead and attempt to program our Sphero as I do the talking. So he's got the hard job here. I say attempt because our students know that failure is always an option. It's a growth opportunity. He is going to do his best to fiddle with the program that we've been working on. You can see he's doing a great job already. We are asking for 5 Sphero robots and 5 Ollie robots. These are programmable robots that are used in conjunction with free apps. We are attempting to use robotics to teach our students about computer coding and programming, but it teaches them so many other life skills. We're able to incorporate critical thinking, problem solving, logic, and we're not creating programmers. We're not expecting our kids to come in here and we're not telling them, when you grow up, you could be a programmer. Instead, we're teaching them to use these skills that are going to be really valuable in their workplace, no matter what they choose to pursue later on. All of our programs, we have a variety of resources that we can use, a variety of different apps that will program our robots here. Jack is currently using a Spark robot, and he's using the Spark program to try to control our robot. All of the apps are free, so there's no additional costs that will incur down the road. We have a variety of different programs that are used within the apps. So we have drag and drop programming, where you can select the commands, click them together, and just hit run. So there's a very basic level to it. We can also take the drag and drop programming, and we can change the variables in order to change the commands that are listed for us. On a more complex level, we can also take a list of commands and we can set parameters to make them do pretty much anything you can think of. We control heading, we control direction, we can control speed, we can control color, and you can pretty much make the robot do what you want to do. These 21st century skills are filling a need that we have. We'll see a growth of almost 9 million opportunities in STEM-related fields through 2022, and about 1 million of those will be vacant in the field of programming. Like I said, we're not just creating these programmers, but we're showing them what opportunities are available, what's out there, and we're showing them that there are innovative practices, and we're hoping that something like this might spark interest in a student who didn't know this existed before. We want to excite their imagination and show them the possibilities so they can think of the next big thing. We want the next big thing to come out of our Cobb County students. You're seeing a fine example of that right now. 5 Sphero and 5 Ollie robots brings us up to just under $1,200. It's a hopefully quick, easy way to get these resources in our students' hands so they can experience and be engaged firsthand. There's a great opportunity for true STEM integration as we relate things like cardinal direction, force and motion, angles and degrees, mathematics, science. There's just so many different categories that you can bring in, even when we're down to directions for how-to writing, just to program your robot in the first place. It's a really exciting opportunity. Jack has done a great job here. We appreciate your time.
All right, I really love this. I'm teaching myself how to program with Khan Academy. But I do have a question. How young do you plan to start these kids with these robots? Kindergarten, 3rd grade, what?
Absolutely, great question. These robots will be accessible to all students K through 5. The most basic set of programs are drag and drop, so they can drag a roll command and a turn command. So it can be super simple. Anybody can drag and drop. Our students at TRIC can do that. So they're available for all of our students K through 5, but I have specific ideas in mind for designated lessons 3 through 5.
I have a question. Can I come be in your class?
Please, I would love that.
Can I hold
And
that
that's
thing?
the great thing.
I'm sorry.
No, yeah, please. That's what's great about these is the kids are interested and then they go home and they tell their parents, like, I played with a toy today.
Yeah.
But then when their parents dig deeper and they ask a little more questions, the kids themselves realize that they didn't just play with a toy. They made the toy do what they wanted it to do. There's a joystick feature on there, and I played with the joystick feature myself because it was fun. But being able to write the actual code to tell it what to do, push run and not touch my device and make it go, that's empowering. That's a cool feeling. And that's what the students like. They like that control. And they like being in charge of something new age and techie.
So is that ball pretty durable? Can I hold it?
It is pretty durable, yes. Jack, would you like to bring it up there?
Jeff, you can come up here. It's okay.
He won't take it.
So there are some demos where dogs are playing fetch. There are some other accessories that you can put a rubber case on it to make it a little more durable. There are some options to make it waterproof. There's a lot of different options. I have a 18-month-old son at home and a puppy, and it survived a week of that play.
I have another question. How many students do you have at one time that you will be doing this with? I mean, is this...
I typically see one class at a time, and there's around 20 to 25 kids in each class. So asking for 10 would allow me to do kind of a 2-to-1 around that ratio. And then there's so much value in that partner work because we're including collaboration and communication, which are major components of the 4 C's that we work on at TRIT.
So the ball is part of in the phone. That's a phone, I'm guessing, right?
That is a phone. Yep.
So you just asked for the ball.
Just ask for the ball. The apps are free.
Gotcha.
And the apps that we use, they are cross-platform. So we can use them on iOS devices or Android devices, which is great because we are a BYOD school for 3 through 5. And so kids that bring their own device, they are able to be compatible no matter what they have, which is a really fantastic opportunity. Our school right now has almost all iPads. But either way, whatever device you choose to bring will be compatible with our technology.
So what's been your surprise discoveries with the tinkering that you're exploring and just really from a discovery standpoint?
It makes myself sound not as great, but what surprises me most is that the students become instantly so much smarter than me. And you have to kind of get over that intimidation. A lot of teachers say, I don't know how to code, I don't know how to program, I don't know how to use robots. And my number one answer every time is, it doesn't matter what you know, it matters what they know. All they have to do is play. And in it, their play is hidden, or their coding and their thinking, their critical thinking, their problem solving is so hidden in the fact that they think they're just playing. But really they're getting so much educational value, and they don't usually realize that until you either tell them or until they have an aha moment somewhere completely different out of this spectrum. And they say, oh, I did that before, and I didn't even know it.
Jack, did you know that? Did you know that you're getting tricked? You did? Did you know that? I think Jack knew he was
He's got it. He's clued
he's
in.
pretty smart out there.
You're speaking to my heart, because I'm an old programmer leading up to my career path now. But have you taken a look at all at any of the robotics competitions that are available? Atlanta is a kind of a hotbed for robotics competitions. Has there been any thought to eventually, maybe identifying some
Definitely.
rising stars?
Those are our next steps. It's not something that we've been involved in at this point. We just recently received our STEM certification, and I think that kind of gave us the confidence that we needed to go to the next step. With more funding, we're able to have more of these opportunities for our students, which hopefully, again, will spark that interest, and then we can get more students involved in those outside
What are the other
competitions.
opportunities you're looking for if you had additional funding?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. That's a tough one. I don't know if I could narrow it down.
You got 5 seconds.
I was interested. I was interested in Google Glass, just so we could show students more of those innovative practices, so they can see what's out there, what's available. We have a lot of coding opportunities through code.org. Things like that are already accessible to us. We do have a Lego Robotics Club for 2 different age levels. We have the We Do kits as well as the Mindstorm kits. Right now, I'm kind of pulling at everything I can. I want more. So I'm searching, I'm looking for more, and I'm willing to take it all in.
Would a one-to-one in your classrooms, would that be doable at all, or is that something?
It would be amazing. If the funding were there, that's certainly something I would beg for. I was hoping to start out reasonable. If the option is to not be realistic, then I would reach for the stars for sure and go one-to-one with every student. That would be amazing.
You did a wonderful job.
Thank you.
Great job, Jack, right?
Thank you.
Jack.
Very well done.
Thank you so much for coming out here. We're proud of you. Good job. Thank you. Have a great night.
I want to come down there.
Yeah, right.
Please. We'll be upstairs.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that was inspiring, wasn't it?
So cool. How do you feel that it went?
I feel like it went great. I couldn't have picked a better presenter. He did a terrific job. He was writing that program as we went. It's exciting to share when you have a good idea. You want people to know about it. You want people to buy in, and hopefully we accomplished that. I think we did a great job.
And the next finalist going into the Cobb Tank is representing Big Shanty Elementary School. Becky Gonzalez, Kathy Jo Lindraw, Betsy Olatka, and Kelly Luskree are seeking $10,000 to fund Big Shanty's STEM Outdoor Innovation Lab.
Good evening, Sharks. I'm Becky Gonzalez.
I'm Kathy Jo Linderoth.
I'm Betsy Olatka.
And I'm Kelly Luskree. We are here from Big Shanty, and we are so excited to share with you our plans for our STEM Outdoor Innovation Lab, otherwise known as SOIL.
Currently, our gazebo is over 2 decades old. We use it as a reading nook. The kids would grab a book, go outside, enjoy the fresh air, and listen to the birds sing.
And the truth is, for many years, it's been used in just that way. The problem is that when the weather wasn't perfect or schedules were too packed, it went unused. And over time, it's been nearly forgotten.
But Big Shanty's Green Team, STEM, and STEAM professional learning communities have re-envisioned this space, and it will become from an unused reading nook into a STEM Outdoor Innovation Lab.
Sharks, picture this, our new innovation lab. Students have their first STEM challenge. Go outside to build a levee. All the materials are outside, craft sticks, masking tape, and they're out there to enjoy the new soil lab.
And each team will use their iPads to design the levee. They'll film their trials with different designs, and they'll use this app called Notchflow to measure the effectiveness of their levee, and all their work will be saved on their Seesaw portfolios. What an exciting way to learn about constructive and destructive forces.
How will these STEM challenges be created? You might be thinking, well, at first our STEM professional learning team and our green team will be creating the challenges for the students, one per grade level each month. Then towards the end of 2016, we know that our children will rise to the challenge and they will be creating their own challenges.
Sharks, we know what you're thinking. How will teachers know what to do when they get out to the STEM lab? Well, no worries, we've got that covered. We have a representative from each team that will present the monthly challenge during the grade level meetings. That's in addition to the initial training in which teachers learn how to access the materials in the lab and how to secure them when it's time to close up the challenge.
And the great news is we've already garnered support from our local businesses. Our partner in education, Vulcan Materials Company, has promised all the granite we need for our outdoor amphitheater, and Yamaha Motor Corporation is willing to let us loan some of the equipment we need for the initial cleanup, like a professional grade power washer.
So this is going to be an amazing opportunity to add to our already award-winning National Green Ribbon School, where we want students to learn inside as well as outdoors and have those hands-on learning experiences.
So, Sharks, who wants to jump in and get down and dirty in our new STEM Outdoor Innovation Lab?
All right, this is a really great idea, and I would like to thank y'all for coming. You did an excellent job. I do actually have a question. You said that one of the big problems with it currently is that maintenance went undone. So what's your plan for maintenance now? Because that stuff costs money, so.
We have an extensive plan in place for how to not let this happen again in our beautiful gazebo. The gazebo, luckily for us, is structurally sound. It's a gorgeous space, just beautiful forest that it's set into. And so what we really need to do here is just some quick cleanup. Luckily for us, we have some wonderful teachers at our school, a wonderful community of parents, and we even have the local university, Kennesaw State, where we have several fraternities who have volunteered their time to come out and do the dirty work with us. So we have lots of support, not just in the initial setup, but in the future. We have timelines laid out of when our quarterly cleanups will be so that the underbrush and those kinds of things doesn't get out of control again.
It's extremely impressive how much of these big dollar items you've had donated. That's hats off to you guys for getting that done. Really, we're talking about a multi-tens of thousands dollar
Yes.
project here that you've managed to get in under this budget. So great job with that. I do have a question about some of your sensitive technical equipment. Will you have a place out in the outside area to store that? You're going to bring it inside?
Yes, we are going to provide tubs for each of our grade levels, and we're going to keep those in a secure area. If you notice on our plan back there, we do have a locking storage cabinet, but that's only going to be for things that aren't very high dollars. So the expensive technological equipment we will keep indoors, and the teachers will check it out as they go out to work on their challenges.
Okay, I have a question. What about, which I was impressed that you had the buy-in from so many of your faculty members. That's so important. What's going to be the support there for if teachers are out there and they need some assistance? Do you have anything in plan for that?
We do. We're very, very fortunate to be in the city of Kennesaw and very close to Ackworth. But our city is very, very active in our school community. And so they have offered, last year we were very fortunate to host something we called Comcast Cares, and we had over 800 volunteers come and help us with our grounds and our initial Green Ribbon Award presentation. So we know we can get the community support. We want this not to be just a Big Shanty thing, but a Kennesaw City thing as well, so that they will help us and we'll help them.
Something else to add to that, one of the great things about STEM learning is that it's all about the experience. Part of the learning is the failure. And so even though the training will be pretty in-depth before each challenge so the teachers feel comfortable going out to the lab and working through the challenge with their students, part of it is figuring out, oops, this didn't quite work. What are we going to do about it? And we don't necessarily need to call somebody in who's the expert. Everybody out there is working together to solve those problems.
And I'm so excited about
I don't have a question. I just want to tell you guys have set the bar really high for reaching out to community support, local businesses, KSU. Really, really high bar for getting a community around this idea. I love that.
Thank you.
Well, you guys have done an outstanding job. We're very proud of you, especially the two girls in the back. Great job back there. Very impressive.
Coordination was also really awesome.
Yeah.
Right on
Didn't
point.
miss a beat.
Well
It was
done.
awesome.
Excellent. So once again, we're just proud of you and your courage to be out here. So have a wonderful evening. And we're going to go back and talk about all y'all.
Thank you guys.
Thanks so much for your time.
Thank y'all.
Betsy and Kelly, it was so exciting listening to your pitch to the Sharks. How do you feel it went?
Oh, I think it went fantastic.
Oh my gosh, we're so excited up there. We're so hopeful that they'll pick us for one of these wonderful grants.
The next finalist going into the Cobb Tank is representing Hendricks Elementary School. Sonia Henry is seeking $10,000 to fund the Reading Nook project.
Hi, I'm Sonia Henry. Dr. Renee Harberger.
Jen Shires. And Stephanie Atchley. We are here seeking $10,000 for our project, the Reading Nook. This project will help eliminate the summer slide that research shows is more prevalent in homes without books available.
For instance, one child comes from a home that has access to books, and one child comes from a home that does not have access to books. The child with access to books begins with a 6-month head start in school. They both begin kindergarten. They both begin kindergarten. During kindergarten, they both receive the same high-quality education and learn at the same rate, so they both would move ahead 9 months. But look what happens when summer comes. The child that has access to books continues to read and will move ahead 1 month, while the child who does not have access to books will slide back 2 months. This pattern continues, so by the end of 5th grade, the children are already over 2.5 years apart. This gap only widens throughout middle and high school.
If we do not provide children access to books and literacy-rich activities throughout the summer, it becomes nearly impossible for teachers to close the reading gap. No matter how much high-quality learning occurs throughout the school year, if summer reading is not there, the gap will widen. The Reading Nook is our solution. Here is a video to show you our vision.
Research shows that students that do not have access to books are not able to, they fall behind. And so our project, the Reading Nook, will give students summer access 1 evening a week to actually check out relevant reading materials. It will allow them to hear stories being read by local community members, as well as provide take-home books to them so they can start their own home libraries and build our future generation of Hendricks students. We have the support of our partners to provide for us a location, food, as well as volunteers. Our biggest need from you is money for level reading materials.
Our future plans include a dream that goes well beyond the Reading Nook. Girls, show me that bus. Once we secure additional funding, our ultimate goal is to provide a book bus that would deliver books in our neighborhoods to our students, all 566 students. Please join us in our journey.
Is that it? That was an outstanding job. Congratulations, and you guys did great there, holding your little pictures and everything. Where's the princess? Hello, princess. Once again, we're very proud of you all. Thanks for coming out and the courage you guys showed to do this. And we're going to ask you some questions. So who wants to start on this outstanding panel?
Okay, I'll ask a question. for when you were talking about they take the books home and build the home libraries, do they bring them back and then so that other families can do that? Or what's your plan for that?
That's a great question. We have two parts. We have money allocated just for take-home books that children actually get to keep, about $1,000 worth. We know that when children have books in their home, they become better readers. The other part is that we're also asking for $7,000 for take-home books, where they can come out once a week and check books out, 2 or 3 books, and then they'll bring back the following week to check out.
Okay.
Very nice job, and I think I commend you for bringing the community into your vision for the Reading Nook. I think it's just awesome. When you mention additional funding, is that strictly for the transportation? Is that the phase 2 of your Reading Nook?
Well,
and how
like
much
we
is
said,
it? I'm sorry.
Our ultimate goal is to provide a book bus, mobile, van, whatever it may be, so we can actually go to our students and eliminate that transportation possible issue. But starting out with phase 1, we've secured, like Renee said, our partner, Gospel Nation, for a place to house our books. So to answer your question, yes, for phase 2 and for sustainability, we need a bus. We need some type of transportation so we can go to our kids and get books in their hands.
Can reach more kids that way.
Very nice.
So you're taking the books on the bus to the kids?
That's phase 2, yes.
I like that.
Yes.
Okay, not bringing the
Yes.
kids to the school to get the books.
Right.
I like the bookmobile when
Yeah.
we were young.
Going into their community.
Yes.
I'm still young, but.
Yeah. We picked Gospel Nation.
Of course you are.
I love the presentation of how you demonstrated a child falling behind. That's great for people like
Visual,
David.
like,
David
yeah, I didn't
has a hard
understand
time
until I saw
to
that.
understand. But how will you market this to kids who might not be otherwise willing to come back to school during the summertime? In my mind, I think maybe these kids would be more likely to read at home on their own. How are you going to market it to the children that would be most affected by getting that summer reading time?
That's a great question. We actually have quite a good plan in place to market it. We are going to send home flyers at the end of the year, and it will be sent home to all the students. And we also are going to do a call-out system where every child will receive a call-out on the Monday evening before, or the night before. We're not sure what night it would be, but the night before. And then we also hope to, just by word of mouth, our local support that we're going to be using their facility. Our school's being renovated, or else we would use our school.
Okay.
Our school is being redone, just to clarify. That's why we chose this. It's a local church down the street that are already partners with us. Several of our students go there, and they are already tutoring in our school, so they know that they're already part of our school community. And so we would allow them to also advertise for us in addition, and we're going to make another little cute advertisement video and put it on our school website.
Yeah.
Great. Great answer.
So I've got one more question. Sometimes a big part of these types of initiatives, and when you demonstrated how far students can fall behind without reading, sometimes when you communicate those, it's equally important to communicate to the parents. Sometimes that's really the market that you really need to make sure understands the need for that. How good of a dialogue do you intend to have with the parents? How strong do you intend for it to be? And how do you, especially that 3rd grade reading level, obviously that's a very significant one. So have you all developed a lot of rhetoric around it?
I envision it, and then, I mean, we've talked some of it. I envision it as when these parents are coming in, we have a spot for them to read with their children.
That's awesome.
And it's comfortable for them. And I think as teachers, we can kind of, slide in right beside them and have that conversation with them around books. And then maybe have more of a conversation about what we see they're doing well, and just maybe a suggestion they can use when they're at home with their child.
And as teachers, we are actually intervention specialists in our schools.
Okay.
I'm the EIP teacher, and I'm the EIP teacher. Ms. Shires, she's the academic coach, and they're reading recovery teachers, so they work one-on-one with the students to bring them up to grade level. So we already are working one-on-one and in small groups with children, and we know a lot of the families and have already got to know them because we work school-wide K through 5.
Yes.
Okay, you guys did amazing. As a former elementary principal, I think this would be a great idea. I wish you were on my staff then, so that was brilliant. But we're going to ask you guys to go ahead and you can pack up, and we're going to go back and talk about how you guys did. So well done.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
How do you feel it went?
I think it went great.
Yeah, we feel really good about it. We feel very confident, and we appreciate the questions that they asked. They were great questions.
Great.
The next finalists going into the Cobb tank are representing McCall Primary School. Tiffany Horrigan, Kelly Stagich, and Missy Johnson are seeking $10,000 to fund their Aspiration Station project.
Good evening, Sharks. We're the team from McCall Primary, and we are here to request funding for our Aspiration Station. We want to create a room at McCall that's dedicated to teaching students about careers and connecting what they're learning in the classroom to what they want to be when they grow up. According to Russ Qualia, aspirations is the ability to set goals and dream for the future while being inspired in the present to get there. That's exactly what we want for our students, and we're hoping the Aspiration Station can help us get there. But is there a need for an Aspiration Station? We did some research to find out, and here's what we asked our students.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
And here are some of the answers that we got.
I would like to be like a cool man. A cool man? I want to be a dog.
A dog.
A princess.
A princess.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
A rock star. A dinosaur. A pirate.
A pirate. A Power Ranger. A Supergirl. A teenager.
A scarecrow.
A scarecrow.
As you can see, we feel like there's a need for the Aspiration Station at McCall, and we're hoping that it will help our students set high, realistic goals for their future. But what about students that already have high, realistic goals, like Catherine? How can the Aspiration Station serve her?
I want to be a veterinarian.
You want to be a veterinarian? Why?
Because I like animals.
Oh, that's a great idea. What are you learning at school that will help you be a veterinarian?
Well, I don't really know.
Okay.
We want to set up stations in a classroom so we can make connections between career goals and then what the children are actually doing in their rooms. So our idea is for reading, we would put nonfiction tubs at every workstation. So we would have like a doctor station, a veterinarian station, and we would have reading tubs, nonfiction books, so the kids could learn what it takes to be a doctor, or what is a doctor, or what is a veterinarian. There would also be some real world reading involved where they could read a menu and then place an order with someone who would be taking their order. Math would also be involved in every career station. They could be counting heartbeats of an animal, or they could be adding food prices, or even measuring buildings, because we would also have an architecture station for the kids to be able to explore and learn at. Writing would also be important for every job, and we want the kids to see that. So we would give them a place where they could write prescriptions for different medications. They could write a weather forecast, because we would have a green screen in our plan where the kids could be a weatherman or an anchor for a news station. Or they could write a plan for a sick animal. Something else that we thought is that we could also tie that back to nonfiction writing, and as the kids are learning about the different occupations, the kids could take that back into their classrooms and write how to be a doctor or how to be a veterinarian.
As a professional school counselor through the College Career Performance and Readiness Index and the American School Counselor Association standards, my role is to provide lessons how to address the world of work. Through the Aspiration Station, I'll be able to address these outlined competencies to meet the needs of the students. We can't wait to watch our students explore careers in agriculture, meteorology, logistics, law enforcement, etc. Sharks, who knows? We may be developing future
architects, doctors,
police officers,
veterinarians. These dream big.
Yay.
Good job.
Well, congratulations, and you guys did a really, really great job, especially Catherine. You are so cute. And you want to be a veterinarian? Really? That's awesome. Well, I'm going to look to my friends up here. If you have any questions, let's go ahead and ask.
I do. I'll jump in. Nice job. I'll second that. I think very brave for you to come in and present today, so we certainly appreciate that. So my question is around just sort of how did you come up with the various jobs and careers that you're going to target for your aspirational project?
Well, according to the College Career Readiness Index, there's a total of 17 competencies. However, for first grade, we're supposed to address 3 different competencies. And with this aspiration station, we're actually going further with that. So it started from there. As a school counselor, I'm supposed to provide world of work type lessons. And so we just expanded upon that and added the academic component to it.
Did I hear practical? Did I hear practical? Is there any opportunity for the kids to dream?
Absolutely.
Of course, they'll have time to go in. They'll get to sign up on a bi-weekly basis, and they'll come in and they'll be experiencing various careers every time they come. They'll get to try different ones out. We're primary school. Our students are with us for kindergarten and first grade. So we're looking at exposing them to 10 to 12 careers in 1 year and then rotating our careers out, and they get another 10 to 12 careers in the next year. We found some research where students begin to limit their career choices at the age of 6. So we felt like if we could start at a really young age and expose them to all the different things that they could do and what they're good at in the classroom, if they're good at math, they're good at reading, what career can I go for that I know is going to use my strengths, and what weaknesses do I need to develop to do what I really want to do.
Okay. Are you partnering with the business community with the career day activities that you already have going on?
Would you like to partner with us?
Good question.
We absolutely do. We look to the community in providing different types of lessons for us as career speakers. And also we have a Careers on Wheels, which is separate than the Aspiration Station, but we always look for the community to come in. So.
All right. Excellent. Great idea.
As another one of the sharks from the business community, my question to you is, what kind of balance do you have between careers that require higher levels of education versus careers that are more technical and vocational and require less tiers of education to access?
That's a great question. One of the first grade careers that we're required to teach students about is logistics and helping students understand how they get the food at the grocery store from the farm. So we plan on having careers such as logistics where there's truck drivers and they understand that we have to get the food from the farm to the grocery store, and that there are other options aside from just going to college and getting another degree to advance my career. What can I do even in my local community that serves my wants and desires for the future?
So not just meteorology, like we talked about earlier, but we also talked about students pretending to be a waiter or waitress. Like you said, working in the marketplace, being construction workers. So.
Great. We have 1 more minute. Anybody else want to have a question?
What are you asking?
We're asking for $10,000.
I have a quick question. One of your largest budgetary items are the room dividers. Have you explored any way to maybe get something donated or provided by Cobb's maintenance department where maybe you could use that $2,000 for something?
Great idea. We have not yet. We're looking to see if we can get this funding, and then we'd actually like to take a trip as a team up to the Children's Museum in Chattanooga that's got a great hands-on careers center, and we're going to get some ideas there. We did some research on what kind of, we're thinking like cubicle type things that we could get on a good budget to make the students really feel like this is a veterinary clinic and this is a marketplace, to give them some good feel for the room.
Well, we are so proud of you from all of us. Thank you so much for taking the time and the courage to come up here. We wish you guys well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Bye, Catherine. She didn't wait about me.
So Tiffany, were there any questions that caught you off guard?
We were really prepared for education questions, but questions coming from business owners and community members threw us a little off guard.
Okay, what's something that you're going to tell your colleagues or your staff members about your experience this evening?
That they should try for the Cobb tank and try to get donations before they come.
Great.
The next finalist going into the Cobb tank is representing Cooper Middle School. Jamie Richardson is seeking $8,600 to fund her Power in the Palm of Their Hands project.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jamie Richardson from Cooper Middle School, and these are my students. And we all have power in the palm of our hands. Now, You might wonder, why in the world would we want a class set of iPods? Well, there's a couple of things. We have mobility. For instance, our students can wear them around our necks, very simply. And kids will be kids, so every once in a while when you're throwing things around, oh, look, he didn't drop it. Now, when we walk into the classroom, we have these wonderful, wonderful technology tools that we can use. We can use QR codes. My students simply walk in, and we'll do a little demonstration. They'll scan their QR codes. They get their assignments, and they can get straight to work. But that's not all that this can do. I chose to use the power in the palm of our hands with an iPod because our students actually use these every day, or a lot of them do. When they are in our classrooms, I know there's not a single teacher who probably hasn't seen a student doing this at some point in their classroom. And usually you say, well, what are you doing? Well, what do you usually use that for? What are you doing?
Texting.
Texting? Snapchat?
Instagram.
Oh, look at that. All right. Well, we might not be doing things that we're necessarily supposed to do, but I want to teach my students how to use this as a valuable tool inside the classroom and outside of the classroom. For instance, when we host our art shows, let's go over here, ladies and gentlemen. Scoot back so they can see. We actually host several art shows. Our first art show this year is the Cobb Art Ruckus on December 10th. And one of the things that our students have the capability of doing is actually using these devices to input an image, an augmented reality of themselves talking about their art, or allowing the audience to see who the student is and what they're about. And I'll let you guys come down and try this a little bit later. We actually had a student who couldn't be here with us today because she has many different talents, but she left you guys a little note on this picture. Another thing too is this is not just for my students. This is for our community. We host the art shows. We have 2 coming up this year. So when our community walks in, we want to be able to actually hand these to our community so that they can use it. Now, going on field trips would make this much easier. Did we run out of time? Oh dear.
You got 20 seconds.
Field trips. Now, when we go on field trips, my students can actually take this with us because, well, we don't have to worry about sitting on them, breaking them. They're already right there inside of around our necks.
So a regular field trip would usually be something like this. But with these iPods, it would usually be like this.
And this would happen from our students being able to document their experiences if we go to a museum or something like that. And, come on guys. So, Shark Tanks, what we're wondering is, are you in? Because we already know that we have the power in our hands. We just need it placed there.
Well done. Good job.
Very good.
You guys excited about this?
Yes.
All right. I can sense the energy. We appreciate you coming out and taking a chance and with this wonderful idea. So we're going to ask you guys some questions. So go ahead and
Curious. Can the students use their personal phones for this same project?
They can. One of the things that I talked about when I wrote this up is there is this technology gap in my classrooms. When I ask my students that they can use their phones as a resource in a classroom of 40, I might have 15 that actually have that resource with them. Does anybody want to kind of shed some light on that?
I'm not, a lot of kids in our class are not as privileged as we could to
there you go.
To be able to get an electronic device.
Exactly.
So it's kind of a privilege to have an iPod so you can learn more and be introduced to more than social media, more that can express our talents as a young adult growing up. We have more opportunities to do better and experience new things. And I think not many kids can actually do that because I'm one that doesn't have the privilege to have a phone right now. So this can give me an opportunity to learn more than what's going on outside of things we might not do. So, yeah.
Very well said.
Great
That's
job.
awesome.
Great
Yeah.
job.
Not all kids have the same type of phone too. Some people have Android devices, some have Apple devices, and they don't have the same app store. So if we have one type, then we could use the same apps as.
Makes sense.
Sure, absolutely.
So you're requesting 32? Is that what I read
Yes.
correctly on here?
Mhm.
Okay.
Our class is actually a little bit larger than that. I was feeling a little guilty whenever I wrote it up. So if you want to reward us more,
What's your class size?
Yeah,
What's your max
our
class?
largest class is actually 40 in my VA comp class.
Okay, so 40.
40, okay.
Any plans for, I'm sorry,
Oh, go ahead.
any plans for maintenance on these devices? What are the plans for continued funding?
Continued funding, as far as that goes, because I can use an iPod, or I can actually sync all of these devices, my students will actually be maintaining these. When I ask them to download something, it's kind of interesting. One of the apps that we're using, or that we will be using, hint, hint, is Microsoft 365, because Cobb County has come out with this wonderful resource for us, and there is an app out there that allows my students on a 16 gigabyte iPod to save their images, save their movies, save their documentations, and then they can open it up on any device that they need to.
So raise your hand if you think this would make your art class more exciting.
Come on.
All right. Well, you know, I actually work closely with your school, and I know Dr. Watkins very well, so I need to know who's texting in school. Who raised their hand earlier?
Uh-oh.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You guys did an outstanding job. We're very proud of you. I think it's a great idea. Thanks for your enthusiasm as an art teacher. I was an art major, so I love art. So I think we're all very pleased with what you guys did.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, good job.
Great job.
Thank
Have a
you
great
very
night.
much. Thank you.
Wow, that was cool.
Guys, good
I
job.
love
I want to know about the smile.
Oh, yeah, smile.
Come on down. Come on down. Wait.
Can I do it? Can I do it?
Don't fall, Ron.
I can do it.
Don't fall.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, no, sweetie.
All right, so we're using an app called Arusma. And oh wait.
That's the student that made it.
Oh wait, let's go out of it really fast. Oh, wait.
Oh, dang.
That's okay, because I want her to be able to actually.
Oh, yeah, I need my glasses.
Okay, so that little sensor right there, when you hold it up, it captures it. There you go.
How cool is that?
So when students, you know, they have a lot of different talents. Like for instance, I've got tennis players. I mean, I've got baseball players over here. You know, I've got talent show people over here. This allows them to still be there if they can't be there.
Whose is this? Is this?
Our first one is December 10th, and then next semester, last year we did our first Junkyard Art Wars. I'm hoping that we can integrate this into our, not this first coming one, that would be very soon, but the second one.
Well, thank y'all for sharing this. This is like,
Very nice.
Thanks for coming. This is awesome.
Thank you.
from the expert.
How do you feel? Awesome. Yeah. And students did a great job, so I'm really proud of them.
Coming up on the next Cobb Tank, more innovations.
So that's a dramatic cost benefit. I think we have to capitalize on it. We got to do this. Like it's a no-brainer.
The fact that you guys are a family of teachers is the coolest thing since sliced bread. That is amazing.
This is going to be in every classroom within the next couple of years.